of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master Speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Circa Barrakiel, Remy Asalia, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimsdaughter, Arcadia Lunashine, Nat Clay, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikta Rabentau, Sapa Chakwatol, Edwin, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Pamela Isley, Camille Grinno, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Bay Barbalay, Suno Chicano, Celestao Notrell, Lazy Boy, A Bag of Dragonite, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Storm Arrow, Tex, Yowie Wowie, Kai Lin, AJ Brainswordson, Anathus Moonscar, Arthur Law, Iridan Derard, Psypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, and Cheshire Saltiri. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Heidelin.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin, episode 295. I'm Lukiel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mela Vanadar, and Rollo Dez. Hello, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Today's main topic, 6.1. This is a spoiler cast, and I'm now just realizing that we don't have the sound effect for spoilers on this new overlay. That's a bit of oversight, so we can't really have it displayed on screen right now, I think. So just keep that in mind, that this is a spoiler cast, okay? It's literally in the title. But we're also going to talk about something that's fresh right now, breaking. The housing lottery just concluded, and that was interesting, wasn't it?
Did you win, guys?
Oh,
did you win the lottery?
You win? We will get into that. We will also be reading your MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post show. We'll be answering questions from the syndicate. But also, we have a channel update. And I think, if I've done this correctly, we can tease our way into it. So here it is. That's right, Eurovision is back, and we will be covering Eurovision this year, as we've done every year since 2018, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, we can now safely call this a tradition now. We will begin our coverage on May 3rd with a pre-show, usually quite, a lot of hyping for what's coming, but also looking back at stuff. And if you were there last year, this is something we introduced last year. On the Tuesday, Thursday, we're covering the semifinals. That's semifinal 1 and 2. And on Saturday, we'll be covering the grand final, and that is available for the senior, master, and supreme speakers on Patreon. So make sure you catch that.
That the final episode. The final part of the Eurovision will replace the podcast, and that will be a day later.
That is true. Yes. That means on that Saturday, the episode will be on May 15th for the podcast episode. So, yeah, there you go.
All right. Release the same day on YouTube.
Yes. All right. That's that. Let's jump into recent events. And before we dive into what I'm sure most of you are waiting for, let's talk about the Encyclopedia Eorzea reprint real quick, because it has been pushed back again. I feel like it's been pushed back before already, but
it's hard to get the content.
Yeah,
because I don't know if you know this, but Square Enix saved the first one as Encyclopedia Eorzea.pdf.
Yes.
And then when they made the second one, they saved that as Encyclopedia Eorzea.pdf, so they've replaced the first one.
Yeah.
So now they have to rewrite the first one by going back and reading through it. It's the Square Enix way.
Yeah, so it is pushed back to May currently, so it's not that far off, but hopefully that's
Why
the
is
last
it
time they
being
push it
pushed
back.
back? How
Well,
difficult is
I
the
think-
bookbinding business
I
these
think it
days?
might be linked just to the global materials shortage that we're experiencing,
Yes.
maybe. But I don't know. It's paper, though. I don't know how
Yeah,
that...
so it's not the most affected of all materials, but fine.
No, yeah.
You know, logistics and all that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
chop down more Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on, we are not going to review Hatching Tide this week because we have enough to talk about today. So
Yeah.
we will be
got
reviewing
some-
that.
Live.
Yeah.
Got some salt to take out anyway.
Yes. So we will be reviewing that next week. So make sure you catch that. Oh, it's already MogMail. What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
No, where's the
apparently.
housing lottery
Sorry.
thing?
Here we go.
That's what.
Yeah.
All right. So the housing lottery happened.
Yeah, did you win your perspective, your own lotteries, fellas?
I mean, I won, and I know you did, Drollo. So
Yeah.
it must be
Yeah.
working.
And,
Yeah.
and we didn't.
No, we did not.
I got my mansion.
Yeah.
I did it.
So here's for those that don't know. So the lottery has ended. It concluded today at 5 p.m. Central European Time, 4 p.m. British Standard Time, summertime, whatever it is, BST.
Yeah.
I will, before we go into that, all plots from Ward 1 through 18 are now FC plots. And that
Every
they have been
housing
converted.
district.
That's every housing district. Even so, if someone moves from a private estate in any of those wards, that plot is converted into FC only.
In all housing district, in like lavender beds, in Goblet, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Weird choice.
So
I think they overestimate the amount of active FCs.
They really do.
yeah,
I mean,
feel like
I might be
But-
wrong, but like as I was perusing the wards to see which one only had 2 or 1 person on the board to put my lottery thing on, a lot of them barely had more than 5, and that was for mansions. And this was on Crystal on Zalera, of course. So you know, maybe it's a small server by people's standards. Who knows?
yeah.
But I would check like the medium plots and the small plots, and a lot of them were just at 0. And I checked like every ward for at least for the Imperium. For the Imperium, I did.
I mean,
so yeah, that's
in my subdivision on Goblin, I believe 5 plots were taken, and 25 were free.
Amazing.
Oh my god. Yeah.
like it's.
Well,
Well,
this is all interesting, but we have to talk about the lottery itself because oh boy, I don't even know how to like explain this. This is okay. Remember that this is the lottery system is something that they kept promoting in every live letter. They talked about it. We probably have hours of just them explaining the lottery at this point and how we have to be ready for it. Lottery happens. Some people lose to the number 0.
it's the fucking ghost, the ghost of housing.
0!
Wasn't it Emmerich going around?
It's Emmerich.
Don't want those rabble rousers in my neighborhood.
So it says 0 is the winner, which is impossible. No one can be 0. And if that happens, you get your money back and you check the placard again, or if anyone checks the placard, it says that there are no participants. There were no participants in the lottery, which they fucked it up. Oh, and they fucked it up so good because there's so many. Because I thought, maybe this is like a fuck up that happened to like 3 or 4 people. Oh no, it happened to a lot of
This
people.
is major.
This is a very
This
big
is
bug. So
bad.
So one of the theories, nothing's confirmed. I will read the post that was released on the Lodestone about this. They were pretty quick at responding. This was released at 6:08. I would assume GMT, so like 2 hours after the draw. We have received several reports that the following message appears when checking the placard after the result announcement period for the housing lottery sales, indicating that there are no winners. Although there were applicants, it appears with results show no participants. The winning number is 0. May you have better luck next time. It's displayed as if there are no winners. We are investigating and responding to this issue as soon as possible while checking the entries in our database. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. So,
what do you do though? You can't roll it back?
No, see, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, because people have already claimed their plots.
There's no option there. They've messed up. If you roll back, the people who were successful will be unhappy, which is understandable. They deserve the plot. But if you don't compensate people, you could have won that plot.
Yeah.
But now, this time round, maybe 50 people will go for your plot instead of 1.
Yeah.
And you'll lose this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's unfair too.
So what people have been speculating about I'm just checking because this is such a breaking news. I need to see if there's been any new announcements just real quick. Doesn't look like there have been any right now. Oh, hold on. Nope, there is none. Yeah, so what a lot of people are speculating is what the problem is, and it seems like this is just a programming error, that they've literally had it roll from 0 to 99 instead of 1. So that seems like a pretty basic error to make. I thought,
was it like an overflow kind of thing?
It's not necessarily an overflow. I think it's just not accounting for it in the range.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should have been +1, but it was like a default value. It's funny though.
That being said, we have, so one would think, because there was one other thing that people brought up, is that if that's the case, then that would mean anyone who entered a lottery last would never be able to win because it counted 0 as 1. But there are now anecdotal evidence that people that entered last have already have won plots. So
yeah, that is untrue. I mean, anyone who entered on a house only for themselves and no one else ever entered it and they won it, that already
proves
that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. But still, that means that even if you were the only one, you still had a 50-50 chance of winning.
That's
It's
so
just getting
crazy.
nothing.
Yeah.
You had a 50-50 against nobody.
Yeah.
Against
housing's difficult these days.
The Phantom of the Opera of the housing board? I don't know.
Martin Prince.
What's so crazy is that this is they have fucked it up again. They and the way that they promoted this lottery system is aged like milk, because they put
100%.
all of the burden on us, the players. Like, you need to be prepared. You need to prepare. You might not win. You might not win. And you're like, okay. But no one told us that we couldn't. That was literally, in some cases, impossible to win. You would never be safe. There's always the 0.
I think it's a really clever plot, because they'll say, after the first wave of lottery attempts, about 50% of houses remained unclaimed. So that means we've solved the crisis.
Congratulations, everyone. We have solved the housing crisis.
The housing crisis is solved.
Yeah.
You've done it, guys.
I sincerely think, for most people, you had more of a chance with the old system when it just unlocked at a certain time.
Yeah.
And then
Probably
you just
true.
make sure you had an SSD. Make sure you had an SSD so you load it fast and you're on busy. And then fucking run up to the placard and mash your 0 keypad.
You did have a better chance. The only thing I would say to that maybe is, like, let's say it unlocks an hour after the servers go up or something, so you've got time to log in or whatever. But yeah, that system was genuinely and kind of sadly better.
Yeah, compared to what we currently have. Yeah, at least it wasn't broken like this is.
I still think it's all terrible.
Yes.
Like, this is all awful.
Oh yeah, this is all bad.
This lottery still sucks.
Our housing system is just bad, and this didn't fix it. Now I'm waiting for their explanation for this. I wonder how they're gonna. Are they gonna be like, okay, we fucked up. if they try to go, well, you see, we expected...
Working as intended.
Yeah, this is working as... This is actually a feature. We wanted to prevent all the wards, like, being sold out immediately so that we had, like, some, you know, to always go around. If that happens, there's going to be a recent events, and you will hear my thoughts on that.
You know what? I have a prediction. I think that since the backlash is literally this bad, and the game is so popular right now, they will give out game time.
Ooh.
Maybe.
I think they'll actually give out game time for it.
Because I don't know what else they can do. Like, because they can't give you a house. So...
No.
So,
I would like them to take responsibility for it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they will. They've never struggled to do that.
Yeah,
before.
I mean, I understand that this happens, but when you're like touting it as like this will be better, it's thoroughly explained, you know, everyone has an equal shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everyone sort of had an equal shot against nobody, against the ghost.
No.
Yeah.
But,
Well, they should have said that though. Like, if this was a feature, I don't think it was. I mean, it's not. This was a mistake.
I don't think it is, and I don't think they're going to claim that.
No.
I am so sorry if you guys lost, especially if you were the only person there, because now you have to wait 3 more days for the thing to open, for the placard to like open back up.
Yeah.
And then put your money back down again. And I think, isn't there like
5
a bug
more
getting your
days.
money back too?
What did you say?
Isn't there like
No,
a
it's
bug
4
getting...
days.
Oh yeah, 4
days?
days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And
5 Earth
I've
days
seen,
according to the
I've
site,
seen,
but they seem to have not done that because they did it a day early this time.
I've seen people saying that they were afraid they couldn't get their money back, but I don't think anyone actually has.
Okay.
I don't think there's any
There's no evidence of that so far that
any
I've seen.
reported instance of that happening.
Yeah.
I just
But if that comes out, that would be really bad.
flabbergasted on this one. But do visit my new mansion, fellas. I mean,
Just a Lara.
How dare you laugh like that, Rob?
I am laughing because I've been playing this game for fucking ever, and it took me however 7-8 years to get my mansion. All right, I upgraded from
Imagine
medium.
someone in your situation, Rollo, has been playing just as long as you. The winning number is 0. One participant. Then you close it. You open it again. There were no participants. The game is gaslighting the players too, and I love that because they just go, "There were no participants." Like what? I was
Why did
worried.
you give me 20 million gil?
I was worried that people wouldn't get their money back, but apparently they do because it's after they get their money back and they check the placard again. That's when it says there were no participants. So.
I am so sorry, sincerely. This booking is so
this,
bad.
This was a big, really big miss. This was really bad.
This was bad.
Yeah.
Go on, Georgi.
They cannot afford for this to happen again.
No.
They need it to be fixed by the second round of the lottery.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a fucking storm at the Capitol at this point. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to walk down DC, take the stage.
Oh, there is a follow-up now. Sorry. Oh, it was released just like 30 minutes ago. Hello, this is from Yoshida. So, breaking news. Bum, 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 bum. Hello, this is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director. Wait, hold on. You know what? This is the perfect time to do this. Breaking news. This is a statement from Naoki Yoshida. Hello, this is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused by the issue with the housing lottery system. Allow me to explain the current situation and our next steps as we investigate the problem. Firstly, we understand that this is a major issue and are prioritizing our investigation into the matter. We are working to identify the issue in the corresponding program. However, as the process is very complex and there are many patterns involved for the lottery conditions, it will require some time to pinpoint the problem. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, but ask for your patience a little while longer as we focus on our efforts on the investigation. As we investigate and address the issue, we will be extending the results announcement period, which was previously set to end on Wednesday, 20th of April, 2022 at 14:59 GMT, 15:59 BST, Thursday, the 21st of April, 2022 at 12:59 AEST. We will not enter into the next lottery cycle until the investigation is complete and the situation is addressed. We apologize.
That's annoying, but I understand why.
We apologize for the inconvenience this is causing to our players. We will continue to work on identifying the cause of the issue and addressing it so that the lottery system correctly determines the winner and displays the proper results.
Everyone who failed to get it, you will now have to wait weeks upon weeks potentially to have another chance at failing to get it.
I don't think it's... I would be shocked if this takes weeks to solve.
You never know.
You can tell this is a serious issue because this post was made at 3:32 a.m. Japan time, which means someone had to call Yoshi-P up.
Oh no!
There's a big problem.
He was snuggled up in his bed. He had his little Namazu plush. And
his son was playing Fortnite. He
was already pulling his hair out. Like, why do you play this game, sir?
Yeah. So
if their system isn't literally put a database together per plot of how many people are in there and do a random on it, why are they making it hard?
They literally have a /random system in the game. I guess that does use 0, doesn't it? You can get 0 on random, right?
You can.
You can't on
Or just do the /random +1.
No, that's true. Loot rolls don't do that. You can't get 0.
Yeah,
well, only when you pass. So yeah.
Oh, what is that? Is there a way to pass on a plot nuclear?
That might. Well, the issue is that
enter it.
If you were to get a 0 in a loot roll, it would probably automatically roll it up to 1, which they wouldn't want to do in housing because that would give the first person to queue a slightly unfair advantage.
No, but they could do just /random between, if it has to start at 0, just add 1. So it'll be /0 to 6.
No, I agree but that would be a different solution than what they likely have on the loot roll.
Just make one of the tickets 0. Problem solved.
They did.
That would also be a solution.
They did make it 0 and then just made it able to win.
Yeah. Well, first entry can just be 0 now. You buy the first ticket, congratulations, your number is 0. I fixed it for you, Yoshi-P. Go on. I'm sure they have to figure out exactly how this happened. Someone in the dev team is having a bad night / morning.
They let him out.
Yoshi-P has been awoken. And he is probably not happy. Okay, right. That is the housing.
Back to writing descriptions for minions. The minion man.
Okay.
That is true. Chad is bringing up. Yeah, if there was no participant, then lots would be won by themselves. If you just made 0 like a number.
That's true.
It doesn't need to be that awkward. You can just do an if check, if 0.
No, I think it should just say +1 on all numbers.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not that difficult to do a random.
I'm sure a fix will be. Maybe a fix is out by the time this goes up on YouTube. So
these amateur programmers here have ideas for you, Yoshi-P.
Yeah.
Contact us.
Yeah,
that's right. I've
Contact at speakersxiv.com, Yoshi-P.
Gary's mod.
Yeah, I've made a SWEP.
Yeah, there you go. Contact at speakersxiv.com. We await your response.
Thank you, Yoshi-P.
Thank you, Yoshi-P.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't know what to use. This is like losing a family member. What do you say?
Jesus.
It's so dramatic. At least I will say this could have been a lot worse because something that I would have expected in an era like this is that people's money disappeared. That would be so 14. I feel like that would be the perfect spaghetti error. They're like, oh yeah, you didn't win, but you also didn't participate. So what money are you asking me about? What the fuck, dude? All right.
You have no records of the money, so you can't be refunded at all by the mod team. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're out.
And then their solution is we have to roll back the entire game server. So everything you did in the past 24 hours will be rolled back.
But we only set bookmarks once an expansion, and we didn't do one for Endwalker, so we're gonna have to go back to Shadowbringers launch.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thanks for thanks. I didn't mean to thank you. I meant to say I'm sorry. I apologize. All right,
Thanks to the viewers, and sort yourself out.
We will do a real quick MogMail before we move into our spoiler cast. So let's do that. This one's from Zoisite Ruby from Zalera. Do you think that Noctis in the crossover event would be fully aether and no dynamis because he wasn't sundered? This is a good question.
Unsundered people still have dynamis, they just can't manipulate it.
Right.
But Noctis doesn't have any emotions of any
That's
sort.
untrue.
He's a one-dimensional emotionless character, so probably would be fully ether.
It's very untrue, Mela.
Okay. Okay. I feel like we answered that very quickly. So that's that. That's our answer. You can ignore Mela's answer, but yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Zoist Ruby. We're moving on then. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry for showing you all this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What is?
I'm sorry.
I said Picard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Picard said no.
Yeah, Picard.
No.
The winning number is 0. All right, moving on. 6.1. It happened.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do a spoiler cast now, so please don't watch any further if you haven't done the MSQ.
We don't have the bonk.
You have to
The way you
leave.
structured that sentence was just, so please don't watch.
Leave! Because spoilers are incoming. All right, we're going. Oh, the frame cut off.
Oh, because
the
you
top.
spoiled it already.
Oh, old man! I've ruined the game for you. I chose this picture because it's literally on the website. So if you accidentally click in on a spoiler cast episode, you're still not spoiled unless you listen to what we're saying, which most people don't. All right.
Her hairy shoulders.
Yeah, she does have hairy shoulders. Let's start with the MSQ. No, she's got ears. All right.
No.
So the MSQ starts with Tataru, of course, in the place that they are in.
Rising Stones.
Rising Stones.
Rising Stones.
Rising Stones. We're having tea.
Yeah, she sets out a couple of snacks. She sets out like a banquet of donuts for you. It's only 2 people, Tataru. Calm down. Jeez.
Oh, I can kill some donuts. I don't know about you.
I always find it funny when she likes a Lalafell near food. Like you realize how small they are and how big food is. Food is big, and Lalafell is small, and the donuts are the size of her head. And I always think about that when I see cutscenes with that. And there's a little secret. I tend to not even be able. I can't even focus on what's being said because all I think about is like how big that donut is compared to her head. I look at the donut and I think big, small. Anyways, she's like, "Oh, need to make clothes."
Well, I already had them. I was already working on them, but you arrived here a bit earlier than I expected.
Did you find that animation to be kind of awkward? Because she's like, "I'm going to start working on your new clothes," and she clearly does. What is this called again?
Stitching.
Cross stitching.
Yeah. So just stitching.
So she's just sitting there stitching.
I was like, I don't think that's how you make something. I mean, you're making a cross stitch.
I mean,
yeah, embroidery.
In our world, it is.
Yeah.
They make such a song and dance about like, I don't know, like, here's the weird lore reason why Garrow exists in our universe or whatever, and here's this and that, and they come up with all these lore excuses, and she's embroidering a sheep on a bit of white fabric, and we're expected to believe that?
Yeah.
Hey,
my immersion was immediately ruined.
I have seen other people craft entire like dresses Well, from just a needle and a pin
It's
cushion.
ridiculous, isn't it? No consistency in this universe.
Uh,
I would have loved it if she brought out the like anvil. Like,
yeah.
Literally
Anyways,
unplayable.
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
man.
and one of the things we can ask as far as more pockets, she doesn't give us pants.
No, she doesn't. She does not
Right.
give us.
Yeah,
And that,
I thought I was going crazy. I was like, it's just like a cock out kind of look.
Yeah.
The worst part is when I was playing this, I was like, she said pockets. I'm like, oh, I want many pockets. Give me fucking cargo pants, dude. You just fill me up with pockets. And I couldn't stop like hyper focusing on pants, which was the one thing I didn't get. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get my new pants.
Did we even get any pockets?
I think there's like little satchels.
I think there is. Yeah, there are some pockets. Yeah.
She specifically mentions, if it's easy to like not notice, but I think she specifically mentions pockets on the inside of the jacket.
Right. Yeah.
He also calls certain types of people out by saying adventurers like to keep like mushrooms and rocks and trinkets and stuff.
Oh yeah, you Mela.
Yeah.
So that
Literally
certain
you.
type, I don't know who she was talking to. But certain type.
No. Okay. So now we're sort of moving on. I think so. She gives us like a clue to like go to Thavnir.
Well, yeah, we either say we don't know what we're doing, or we're on offer a new adventure, but where?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And she's like, Thavnir.
And out of all the cool places in the world that we've never been to, she picked someone we've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
she's
mean,
like,
she's just-
you didn't get to enjoy it when you were destroying
I
that
did.
tower, and then
I did
and then
get
it
to
was the
enjoy it.
final days.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it while I was there.
It was kind of soured by the end of days, Mela. I don't think we can deny that fact. But
Thanks to my holiday.
So we've been clued into like getting we want to get information from this man who is known to have a lot of information about a treasure that's hidden underneath the bounty. Now you remember Emmett Selk mentioning something like that in his whole speech at the end of Endwalker.
They do this twice. This patch, where they just show a freeze frame of Emmett Selk. The one during the MSQ I think is not very flattering, and then they flash back to the words that he specifically said. In case you forgot.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So yeah, we need to we also learn from the I think she is the proprietress, or is she just a servant?
No, she's a waitress.
Just a waitress, sorry.
Yeah.
Servant. She's a servant.
She's a servant.
Indentured servitude.
She's like, oh, this guy, he likes the drink, and that's your clue. And then you get the scary prompt, which is the same one you got from the fishing quest with I don't remember his name, but the guy that
Matsya?
Matsya, where you can actually fuck up. So
can you?
yes,
I didn't know
You can. Well, you can.
Yeah.
But it makes you go further out of your way. I was discussing this with Mailer earlier. If you do it correctly, and it's pretty obvious the answers you have to pick to do it correctly, the person that he directs you to is just in the tavern itself. You just have they're like just nearby.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it incorrectly, which I purposely did on my other character, he doesn't give you enough information, and so you have to go find the other person. And for me, the other person was like in that open area outside DD Megadoodoo.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if because I also call it DD Megadoodoo, but I don't know if everyone Megaduta is what we're talking about. For us, it's obvious where it is, but
it's Megadoody no matter what when they say it, and then the DD's just embellishment.
Yeah. So yeah, you get him drunk enough,
not
and then
too drunk.
No, give him some water when it's like too much. He will direct you to.
Or don't get him drunk, and he'll just get indignant.
Yeah, right. He'll spill the beans, and does he actually tell us where to go next? Does he mention?
We go and chat with another lad who tells us where to go. He says there's a
he always
merchant
tells
who's
you
selling a map.
Right.
Yeah, he always tells you to go find someone else.
Right.
It's just where that person will be will depend on how successful you are with this old man.
Right. And then we get into the I guess it's the bazaar. Is it actually called the bazaar? It must be. It looks like it anyways. The market area of Thavnir. And there is a a bit of a scene unfolding about
It's an entrepreneur selling his wares.
There's an orphan.
It's an amateur. It's an amateur theater production. Thank you.
Yeah, there's an orphan begging for a map from a merchant, and the merchant's like, "No, you don't have the money." It's very dramatic, over the top.
You can tell he's evil because he's British.
That's true.
Every
true.
Game is British.
No, the kid wasn't.
The kid was not, which, you could draw some
Okay, so
parallels there.
There's two accents. There's two accents in this game: British and South Asian.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, the it's obviously a ploy to get people to. It's just an act to pull on people's like conscience to just buy it. Estinian is there.
Real.
What?
It's real.
Well, it's part real. It's not fully. What do you mean? Oh, the map is real. Yeah, sorry, I thought you meant the act. The act is an act, but the map is real. But the act is not. The act is to get people to actually buy it.
But the item is. I feel like this defeats the purpose.
I know. I agree. It's really weird, and I don't know why they did it.
I've got
like
this magical map that will bring you directly to treasure.
Yeah.
I'll try and pretend I'll make it seem good, but then you'll think it's not good because it's an act.
Yeah.
It's very convoluted.
Yeah. We don't know that it's real at first, though, because we obviously pan over to Estinian, and we know how good he is at this stuff.
A sucker is born every day.
And he buys the map. But yeah, then it turns out it is actually real. He doesn't know that at the time, but he's like, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But he wants to help Thavnir
he wanted to help
rebuild.
the orphan boy.
Yeah, and the orphan boy, because the orphan boy says something about his like sister or something, and he's like, that sounded
like
real.
Estinian's like, yeah, okay. Most of that was fake, but yeah, that part's real.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, ooh, you picked up on something being untrue.
Yeah.
In relation to commerce.
Wow.
Yeah.
Such intuition.
Yeah.
He's grown as a person.
Yes.
There are instances of him not growing as a person later in the story.
We get to we need to get a boat, so we decide to go see Matsya because he owns a boat as a fisher. While getting there, the orphan is like following us.
And
apparently we took
like a convoluted route.
Yeah.
Well,
to make sure he doesn't die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we knew he was following us, and so he's trying to warn us.
You didn't teleport there, did you? You walked there, as the story claims.
Of course,
absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
On my Matanga.
Yeah.
You avoided every single mob.
The orphan is trying to warn us because the map is apparently real, and it's very dangerous because this similar map. I wasn't sure if it was a similar map.
No, they didn't sell him the map because the other person didn't have the money. So the merchant just gave him the information.
Right, that's how it was.
Even if this person, who's probably dead, managed to make it to the island, because you need the map to progress on the island, they wouldn't have got anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Estinian's like, maybe we should get some more people. Then this
Estinian only.
Yeah, go on.
Estinian only says that because the boys about. Well, you can say, look at it, look at the child. You've made him cry, and then that makes Estinian feel bad. It's like, fine.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go get other people.
Yeah. Well, you can choose, right? You can say you made it cry, or you can say
let's
assemble a crew.
Yeah.
So that next part is really interesting because you can choose the wrong option, and he'll be like, "Oh no, they're too busy." Essentially, he says more.
Yeah,
obviously.
and I was like, "Wait,
yeah,
Stola's too busy right now,"
and they just disappear.
I picked Stola.
Yeah. But your Stola turns out to be the right option, obviously, but it's weird because we do also go see Oriange and Thancred later. So, because your Stola suggests
and Alizé are the only ones that I can really see as being not busy.
Yeah.
I mean, as being busy.
Sorry, yeah. We don't, we can say that now. Alizé and Alphino completely absent in this patch.
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is this the first patch where neither Alphino nor Alizé has said something since maybe like A Realm Reborn? Or has there not even been one since A Realm Reborn when they never had any dialogue?
I feel like they've been around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel I can't remember any patch cycle for story where there wasn't at least alpha now.
Yeah, because they've kind of always been there. Yeah.
Even in A Realm Reborn, when Alizé was off doing Bahamut, I'm sure he was in almost every patch for the Crystal Braves, and after that.
Mm-hmm. They're apparently, we're not going to talk about the role. We're not going to spoil anything in the role quests, but if they're not actually, are they in the role quests? The new one?
They aren't in the role quests.
No. So,
but
they're mentioned.
Are points where you can interact with them.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. So we start gathering people. We go to
the correct answer is to say Graha and Cryle.
Yeah, Graha and Cryle.
But you only get one chance. So if you don't do it, you don't do it.
Well, no. What do you mean?
No, you get to keep.
You get all of them.
You keep. Yeah.
He'll just go. Oh, maybe someone else, and then that option just disappears from the list.
Oh,
yeah.
No, maybe yeah.
So you go see.
Never mind then.
You see Graha and Cryle. In a very
the Baldessian Arsenal thing.
Yeah, and she's already starting to tease myths of a realm.
Annex.
By the way, in that in the annex.
Yeah.
She starts she starts teasing myths of a realm, and then Graha wants to join us.
Oh, he's so cute, little.
It's the fucking fist clench.
Yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god, adventure.
In the trailer they do the fist clench and like, oh, he's angry.
Yeah.
But no, he's not. He's trying to hold back his desire to go on an adventure.
He's just a little baby boy.
And
He wants to hang out.
And Kryle's like, okay, you can go.
Go on then.
Yeah.
She says, there's something I want you to help me with later, though.
Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. So you pick up Graha, and that's when you're like, maybe we should bring Y'shtola as well. She's at
no, Graha's like, Y'shtola's actually here right now.
Yeah, Y'shtola's here.
You didn't know that she was even in Charlian.
Yeah. So we go to Y'shtola, and she's like having a sleep in the among the books. You wake her up.
Falls on her head.
Yeah, a book falls on her head.
I gotta say, a lot of the animations for NPCs, even your own character, are real nice.
Yeah.
I liked the Y'shtola scenes.
The scene where she wakes up and she sees the two of you watching her is funny.
Yeah.
And the music cuts. I like that when the music cut out, you felt like...
Dude, the music cut, and I thought my internet had died, and I was like about to disconnect. I'm like, oh, this is wrong.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
Yeah. We get Y'shtola. She's working on...
Shard hopping.
Yes.
Yeah. She's trying to
and
find
she does that line where it's like, I didn't expect to find handwritten instructions in a dusty corner of the library, but I thought I could have a go or whatever.
Yeah. Which will be very important later in this story. So that's her current mission, but she's tagging along. And then we go see Urianger.
Y'shtola has the idea. Oh yeah, Urianger is available as well. We might need a healer.
Yes,
everyone's actually here. Look.
Well, you go to the Ragnarok docking bay or whatever.
Talmazine.
Yeah, and
then you're like, lol. We've got the party assembled. Then poor Thancred comes down. It's like, hey guys, what's going on?
What's happening?
What about me?
Oh, don't want you there.
Urianger is interested because he's trying to help the Loprits improve the Excitatron 6000. They don't go out of their way to say that, but it's clear that's what they're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thancred is not allowed to join us. We do ask him. We can ask him, right? Or at least imply that he's welcome.
He's busy.
Yeah, he does say he's busy.
In the end, he goes, on a serious note, I'm busy.
Yeah. And multiple times to say throughout, it's like, hey, we probably all shouldn't hang around right now, because it'll be very obvious the Scions did not disband.
I think he said he's off to the Far East.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yes. Okay, so we have our crew. We are ready to go.
Back to Matsya, hop on the boat, dungeon time.
Yes, we make it
the dungeon
to Elzadal's legacy. Well, it was good. It was fast. It felt really quick, but
I liked it. I think
go on.
I think the jellyfish boss maybe the weakest of the three, but I quite liked the tentacle thing where it drew like a weird pattern on the floor that was quite hard to discern. That he was a reason, but I think for the most part they all went through their phases a bit quickly. They repeat.
By the way,
quickly.
Hated doing this with fucking Trust. Absolutely hated it. Because
Why did you do it with Trust?
Because I was like, oh, maybe I guess I'll do. Because everyone's always like, do it with Trust the first time. So like,
I did it with Trust.
Okay.
It was fine.
And then like I get to the
Ironically-
second boss. Like when you get to the second boss, and like you'll mess up on a mechanic because you don't know what's happening, and the NPCs just won't heal you.
Oh.
Urianger did kill me because
Like-
we stacked AoEs and he just stayed there.
Okay.
Multiple times did I get killed by fucking Urianger not healing me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought this was supposed to. I went 3 times.
Oh, good
Lakil
lord.
and I are
Yeah.
healers, so this has never been an issue for us.
I was
No.
like, come on. I went as a DPS, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust them to do important things.
I should have gone as tank, but I generally do the MSQ on Black Mage, so I just had to struggle. But it was fine. Second boss with the turret things, that one was fine. The second bit where he does like the slightly more complicated lasers is quite good.
Yeah.
I thought he was a fairly fun boss. And there's the Silk Man. I didn't know what to expect with the turning for when you get spun, but I was really impressed with it because it's kind of difficult. It's awkward.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah.
It
You
was
get to
very
be a little
good.
Beyblade.
And you look funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they say Y'shtola in particular, if when you bring her along, she says, "This is so undignified."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did not do it with Trust this time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you
Ironically,
didn't.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
No, Lakil is the one that didn't do it with Trust this time.
Yeah.
I should have followed my gut. I should have just gone without Trust.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Because I felt like somehow I just knew it was going to take forever, and I just didn't want to. I just didn't
no,
want
it
to
didn't take
spend
that long.
forever.
Not that long. It probably took 10 minutes longer than if you did it with people.
Well, I wouldn't know that because I hadn't
Yeah.
been in there. So
Give it like
that's why I didn't do
6.5
it.
or a 7.
Okay.
alright.
Yeah,
That
it
gear,
was
by the
alright.
way, from it. It's really good. I don't know if you've seen it.
I really do like the gear that drops in it.
I don't think
I
I've
didn't
seen a
expect
couple bits, but I didn't see much of it.
I
so
haven't
need
seen the
to-
healer gear, I think.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
I don't know if any chest pieces dropped, which is the main one to see how it looks. So I don't know, but it looks
Okay.
okay.
Right. Okay, moving on. After that, after we've destroyed all of the enemies in the dungeon, Varshan, or it's kind of awkward with Vritra and Varshan because it's the same person.
Yeah. I mean, he says he just tells you like either one's fine. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Why does he still have the accent when he's the
So
man?
my theory for this, Lakil, is that the Mammoth is programmed to only speak with the accent. I don't think Vritra has control over what voice the Mammoth uses.
Ah, okay. All right. That's okay. Interesting. He runs in and he's like, "This is my treasure. Why did you fucked up all my shit, dude?" And we're like,
I hope you didn't come here as common looters.
Yeah, what are you, common looters? And we're like,
No, it was Y'shtola. It wasn't me.
yeah.
I love
love
that
blaming
option. I
Y'shtola.
wish I'd done it. But
Oh, it is so hilarious. She gives you like the death stare.
I wasn't. But
I don't
you
think
should
I
have heard
chose that
stolen.
one, but I wish I did.
No, if she stares at you and then she says, "I will talk to you later,"
Oh.
and then your character looks terrified.
Oh god.
Yeah, so he says, "This is my treasure." There's a this is where he reveals that there's literally like a little void gate in the treasure
Yeah.
coffer.
Urianger first suggests, "Oh, it's a planar fisher." I was like, "Yeah,
Mm.
I know
Yeah.
what those are." That's what I would have first thought.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
They're
it's actually a
in, like,
void gate, the
the-
thing that we've encountered way more often.
yeah.
No, they're in like the Black Mage quest line, aren't they? The plane of fishes and stuff.
Mm,
They are.
Yeah.
That's how the Lilith woman gets pulled in or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So Ritra then explains that he's trying to. So you can tell that there's Thavnarian alchemical designs, like alchemy. You know what you recognize from the Great Works. So he's like, yeah, the alchemists have been working on this. We're trying to find a way to visit the void because his sister.
Well, they were.
Well, they were, yeah. His sister Azdaja was lost.
Asdaya.
Azdaya? Okay.
Ashdayar.
Yeah, he says it weird. Ashdaya, I guess.
Well, I think.
Or is that his
might be how
accent?
it's actually, I think that's his accent.
Well, that's the only way I've heard it pronounced now. So, they were lost during the Allegan/Mericidian War. Kind of.
I mean, this was massive lore.
Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't expect this in this patch.
Because
honestly.
Graha is trying to be like flexible, like, yeah, I know everything about the Allegan
I've
War.
read all of the Allegan tomes.
And then he drops that bomb and is like, didn't know that.
Essentially, when Xande was summoning the Cloud of Darkness and they had the Void Gate open, she flew in to try and.
Well, they were apparently spawning many Void Gates, and then Asdaya flew through just one of them.
And Vritra tried to go through, but it closed behind her. So it explains where Asdaya is.
Yeah.
This was when I felt things were moving almost too quickly. A lot was going on here. You know, it was really setting things up very fast.
Listen, that's Endwalker. Breakneck pace.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right.
I thought this patch was at quite a nice pace, to be honest.
It was at a decent pace, but it felt like we were right into the next plot immediately.
Well, that's what they said. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean,
and it's worth noting that this is the first time. Like, this is a 0.1 patch that feels like a 0.4 patch.
Yeah,
where the pivot is happening.
Well, there is still the rebuilding the city part.
Yeah, they
Don't forget that.
They snuck in a little bit of a political patch in there. We'll get to it. Yeah. So when Graha's like, I didn't know this part of this story, and he said, well, the Allegans probably wouldn't have known, and also they wrote the history that you're reading from, so they wouldn't have put that in. They also mentioned, I love that we get a chance to talk about Krusty Nero. That was
when Nero was purple.
I definitely picked that. And
I picked that too.
Purple?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best thing.
I like that we can actually have lots of funny dialogue now, because things
Yes.
aren't as serious at this moment.
Yeah.
Which is some nice for a little bit of levity. Like this, I mean, there was serious stuff going on.
Yeah.
Obviously want to help Vitra and everything, but
Yeah.
we can at least have some jokey jokes.
Yeah. The important part is that Ritra has given up on this project, essentially. So that's why it's just been locked down in there. But we now, of course, want to figure this out.
When he went in there, they determined it was like, oh, this is way too dangerous.
Yes.
We can only open the portal big enough for like a child-sized mammoth to get through, and they aren't enough to explore the void.
Yeah.
As soon as you get through, it's full of just void scent trying to claw their way out. So it's pretty horrible.
Yeah. So, Estinian says, wait, where are we in the story right now? We've just done the...
But he just says that we only wanted this treasure to pay, help avert the losses from the final days in Thavne and Razathan. And Vritra's like, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah. And then Graha and Urianje, they're done. But Yustola, who, if you remember,
she's always meddling.
This is something she's been looking for a while. So this is perfect. This is a way to travel between worlds.
I never heard of this king before. He could do that.
Right. Yeah. That's a thing we didn't mention about this dungeon, is that it was rumored that this king that owned this treasure vault,
Alzadal
III, had been traveling between worlds and bringing back riches from those worlds and put them in his treasure vault. So that's sort of what's putting us on this path, I guess. Yeah.
Which doesn't seem to be the case. It just seems that they had a void gate and they stored the void. Well, the void gate was the location where they decided to store all the other riches anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a big secure place, right?
Yeah. Did you notice that the gold bars were oddly shiny? Is that them testing out the new reflection system that they've been talking about?
I mean, they've already done it. They've already done it with all the Realm Reborn dungeons. You can see the visual updates they've given them. So I wouldn't be surprised. It would be weird if they didn't update the current dungeon.
Yeah.
Because then they'd have to come back and do it again.
I agree.
We'll have to have a look again.
Yeah, I noticed it was very shiny. It's not the usual like bland or like that faux like. You know what I mean? Like shiny surfaces in 14 don't really exist.
If you look at it, it's not like if you look at it gold gold ore bar in the crafting menu.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you go back. Okay. Yeah. So we go back to Ritra at DD Mega Doodoo. So where Ritra announces that the money will be. Yeah.
Before that, we need to go ask. We actually go to like Akiali and Yedley Man and is like, "What do you want?"
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we do a little survey essentially. Like, what do you need for the rebuild? Kind of sad, kind of depressing information coming from there.
And that person that tried to scam Estinian tries to scam us as well.
Yes, yes, he does. That was funny.
Hey, people gotta eat.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. So this is where they snuck in a little bit of that 0.1 political patch that we were come to expect. At DD Mega Doodoo, Ritra essentially says that the money will be used to revitalize trade. And then I think Estinian is puts forward what about the children?
Think of the children.
I don't know if he he essentially, I think he brings it up, and they decide build an orphanage. You get options, and actually you get rewarded for having done the Firmament quest line because you get a final.
I think you also get rewarded if you've done Chloe's.
I did a Chloe
delivery quest line because I don't think that option would be there if you haven't done Chloe's
the orphanage ones?
delivery quests.
Both, so both the orphanage ones
there was
were.
One the people in Idleshire.
Yeah.
Use
of course.
shinies for a orphanage, and then the people here do this for.
Right. Yeah. So those two were both rewards. So yeah, they decided to build an orphanage, and they decided to name it after Merad, who was a
man that turned into the blasphemy that's the final boss of Venisparti.
That's the one with a really sad backstory where he's essentially depressed. Wasn't that the whole?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was just trying to help everyone.
Yeah.
And get his.
Oh, Kalzal? Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, Kalzal. Not
Murad is the child.
Murad is the child. Yes.
Yeah.
Kalzal. Sorry, Kalzal. Okay. Ritra then explains that the ancient. Yes, go on.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I thought we would have named it after Ahawan.
He was a good lad too.
Oh yeah.
They did talk about him.
They did talk about him, but yeah.
This was the second instance of the game naming something that I thought was not what I would have chosen, but okay. Actually, no, you got the third time. Because we had the Grand Company of Eorzea, and I was like, and then we have the Ragnarok. And now we've got
because the Ragnarok
the
Ragnarok almost implied that it was going to be like Louis Soir, because they were like, oh
yes.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, that would be so nice.
And that's why I thought they were going for Ahawan here. I was like, oh,
yeah,
a different person.
Yeah.
So it was the second time I got bait and switched in recent memory.
Yeah. Okay, so then Ritra says that the ancient alchemists have sent word of their void experiments to Charlian, and they were like, you cannot continue this shit, dude.
Yeah.
We forbid
Give
this.
us that copy.
Yeah.
Give us that copy.
Give us that copy right now.
Give us your only copy of your research.
Right now.
No more.
Kind of rude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, very dangerous research that they were conducting over there.
No.
Essentially, world ending if taken too far.
They were very careful.
So we figure that it's...
That shows how long Vritra has been working on this, though, because he would have lost Asdaya during the third Astral Era. This is 3 Astral Eras later.
Yeah.
Also sad that there doesn't seem to be much Thavnaran presence in Charlayan, despite the fact that they're world-renowned researchers and alchemists as well. They're doing stuff that no one's ever heard of. They're the ones who came up with the ether blocking talismans. They're the ones who have created this void gate technology. They're almost better in some ways, and they don't see where's the Matanga forum representative? Why isn't there an elephant stomping around in robes, huh?
I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe that'll be a thing they'll talk about in the future that we can change.
So. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we figure that this research must be in the forbidden section, forbidden archives of Numenor.
Yeah.
So we return.
We've got to get in.
Yeah, we need to get in.
Who do we talk to?
We talk to Old Man.
Old Man.
In
Old
the
Man.
slide.
Old Man Jenkins.
Yeah.
Best character in the whole expansion, almost.
Monteshane.
In Monteshane.
Love him. He's so nice.
Yeah. And he's like,
and also Fortunal.
And then Fortunal, who's hesitant, but
yeah, but you kind of like bully him into like old, but we save
I mean,
the world, and your
you
children
owe us.
don't. Yeah, you don't want your children to hate you.
So the forum deliberates, they discuss, and then they come back. This is the best part when they talk about Matoya. Is that we're gonna bring up because they're like, well. Matoya kind of burned all bridges with with the forum. She's not popular,
and you are her student,
and
so...
so it was kind of rough in there. But they did get enough support to allow us into the Forbidden Archives. We're within now. This apparently is a bit of an annoying thing with this scene. Not scene. The scene is good when you enter and you look at the really inconvenient bookcases and whatnot. But apparently,
oh my god, I found the correct one first, and I was
no, because if you get the correct one first, you are locked out of reading the others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very disappointing character.
Yeah.
So I can do it again.
Yeah.
But
did you do it too?
Very irritating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did it the first time as well.
Yeah.
I think I got all of them. Because there's the one with the succubus. There's So okay, I got them all.
Yeah.
I was very annoyed.
Yeah, I understand that.
This whole scene is very interesting because you pointed out this when you streamed it. It's shot like a dungeon.
Yes, it's like a dungeon like entrance intro. Like it's weird. Yeah.
I feel as if they might have done this because this is the closest thing we have to a solo instance during the MSQ because there isn't one.
I guess. Yeah.
Maybe just for like red herring in the trailer as well.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they had that in mind when they made it. So yeah, you get in there, you find the right page. There's actually some lore about like, well, this is the lore on Atomos. That you find that Atomos can be used to control the void gates. It also mentions that they were observed during the Calamity, which is, a little bit of for the 1.0 players. Yeah.
The 1.0 reference.
Yeah.
Another cool thing about this book, what Y'shtola says is written in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You can read it in Eorzean.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
It sometimes cuts to random pictures while she keeps reading, so you can't follow along perfectly.
No.
But
yeah.
But the interesting thing about Atomos is they have a fissure inside them. Which they can stretch to however big they want. How.
Now, I think that is just the lore of all Atomos, right? I think that's like how they function, because they exist in 11 as well, and they are used in a similar manner.
I think this is also the very interesting part where they explain that they go for gargoyles as an example, but larger void sent don't get brought through whole. Their souls are torn from their bodies in the 13th and brought through and put inside some sort of object vessel, such as a perfectly sculpted gargoyle statue that looks exactly like how they look in the void.
Yeah.
And then they come alive here.
I think you can theorize that these aren't the first gargoyles they've brought over from the void.
No, but it's funny that they know exactly what they look like.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting lore, that they're not just here, not all of them.
That is interesting because it might unlock the secrets of Amdapor. Because Amdapor uses statues that look like the Sin Eaters from the first. And now, is that the same thing then? Did they just...
Very well could be.
Yeah. Yeah, might explain
like an explanation.
Because they were literally statues that they just put around in the city for decoration, and then in the event of a war, they could summon them and make them like real. So kind of makes sense.
And we're well known that the Marquis did pretty much that with the void scent. So why wouldn't they do it with the light scent?
Ooh.
Imagine if you were a sin eater, and you were one of the lucky ones that get put inside a mana pot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're like, okay, let's make an artificial one. We can make an Atomos. So we go ask Nidana for help. She's more than willing to help.
She's very willing.
Yeah.
We forbidden research we give so easily.
Yeah. So we have to go back to the void gate.
This is,
in the dungeon.
before this is the most unnecessary part of the MSQ, and it really annoyed me.
Which one?
Where you have to fly across Thavner just to get a bottle of water.
Oh God,
I hated
I
this.
forgot about that. Yeah.
No, that was a good quest, Georgie.
They make a joke about it. Though. I was like, yeah, if you read that description, it's like, yeah, you need to get out of this water specifically from this very spot.
Yeah.
It needs to be astrally aspected or whatever.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
When we get back, it turns out that they've already replaced some of the mobs that we destroyed.
The
and
constructs.
Estinian had destroyed them all again.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Kind of annoyed.
Reach was like,
Well,
before I could even say anything.
Yeah, you'd already destroyed
Property
them.
Yeah,
damage. My God.
And Estinian doesn't even acknowledge
No.
that, like,
It's so
he
funny.
shouldn't have done this. He's just like, yeah, some of them survived, so
Yeah.
I destroyed
Isn't
them.
that strange?
So funny.
So yeah,
He was there when Varshan asked the man to replace them.
You think
yeah.
he's paying attention?
No, he's like me. He's just not paying attention at
Yeah,
all.
kill.
He's still got Nidhogg inside him.
I don't know
Wait, he's
why.
carrying
I'm
around
here.
Nidhogg with
All I
him.
do is kill.
Yeah. I think this is where we talk about crust. Is this where we talk about crust? Because we're talking about
No, we talked about crust actually
okay,
earlier.
so that okay,
That
but
was with
we're sort of
Oh.
returning back to that now because one of the issues with going through into the void is that the corruption will take hold and will eventually turn into void scent. But there's
Seeps into wounds.
yeah. So one idea is to use the warding scales that we used in the towers, but we have nothing that is like small enough to enter the hole to test it. So Yastola has an idea. She has something we can use, and she does a spell. Which I'm just gonna read it. Water, froth, and foam.
No, say it right.
No.
That is going to be a clip that will haunt me.
Water, frothing foam.
Okay.
That wasn't really how she said it.
No,
but okay.
she said
She said it
that's
just like that.
It's fine.
Just like that.
It's fine. People, if you were there, you were there. You've seen it. You've all seen it.
That was good.
Yeah,
That was a great-
she
great
spawns
moment.
a couple of Nixies.
Ready up. I fear she's possessed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Estinian.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
I
It's
felt
funny.
so bad for her. That secondhand.
I
embarrassment.
loved it because you could tell.
Did you
She
did you
was-
like it when she just took the warding scale and just fucking slopped it in?
Poor thing.
To a
Poor little
Nixie?
Yeah.
Hey, I would prefer to be that Nixie than the other one.
True. She sends them in, and then after a while, they come back out. One of them is not feeling too well, and the other one is fine. But she does notice that the talisman has kind of deteriorated a little. It's like there's something.
There was a scratch on it
Yes.
that got a little bit corrupted.
Yeah, so we need to figure out how to prevent that. This is where we go back. We go to Sid, and the game just teleports you
Ralga's
here.
Reach.
You're just in Ralga's Reach.
Ralga's Reach in 2022.
So, is this their headquarters now?
I guess so.
I thought it
Apparently.
was still Mordona.
Yeah, no.
I'm so glad that Vieira with the glasses didn't show up. Please.
True.
But
Wow.
I will say, I was weirdly nostalgic when I
Yeah,
visited
same.
Ralga's Reach, and I don't think I've ever really felt that about Ralga's Reach before.
No.
The only thing that would have made me feel better is if Jessie had turned up.
Yeah.
Well, she was there. You could have walked over and talked to her.
Yeah, I know, but it's like they mentioned her in the cutscene, like, oh, she's the always keeping an eye on us. But
Yeah.
I miss the classic Biggs, Wedge, Jesse, Sid.
Yeah.
No Nero either.
No Nero.
Sad.
No, that's true. And I love...
He is mentioned.
He is mentioned.
Yeah.
But Sid's like, well, I think the best thing to do would be to just not scratch it. I love that when he said that. I'm like, okay, thanks. But they were going to figure out a way. There was a coding that he was talking about, but maybe that wasn't good enough. Maybe you need... I think his solution was to like...
They put it in like a chastity cage.
Yeah, like put it into something so that it wouldn't like be couldn't get scratched. So, now the last part is because Ritra is sort of given up on this still and is like not really engaging in this. But then Nabdeen convinces Ritra to explore.
You listen here, Varshan.
Yeah.
With his incredibly smooth face.
His face is like Play-Doh, and it's
disgusting.
It's
terrifying.
Ever since someone said that, what's that guy's name? Old Emperor of the that
Solus?
died. Ever since someone said Solus, his
No, not
face
Solus.
is just... no,
Varus.
sorry. Not...
Varus. Yeah, sorry.
Ever since someone said Varus's face is just an unpeeled Al Ra, cannot fucking unsee it because he has the unpeeled on. He has the peeled.
Yeah.
The Al Ra face. He has it. I'm like, that's just.
He does have the
him.
peeled Al Ra face.
Why would you say that? Why would you say peeled out raw face?
That's what they did. They to make Varus, they just peeled an Al Ra.
Yeah, I think they did. That's true. I've never thought about that. It's horrible. But also, Nabdeen has no texture in his face. He is a 90s tech demo face. It's very upsetting.
Nabdeen's a very uncanny person, not just because of how he looks, but I think his voice really doesn't match him either.
Right, doesn't help, does it?
I will say, I feel as if Nabdeen has this very ugly Highlander man that always stands behind him to distract from that he's
the one in the turban.
He looks weird as well. Yeah, the one in the turban
with like the just ultra wide face. Yeah,
just gonna.
He's honestly
that
Highlander, the Radiant host or whatever they're called.
Sorry,
I mean, they must be picking the ugliest people in that hand. That must be like a requirement to join.
These standards of beauty, oh my god.
Sorry, you're too beautiful for the Radiant host.
I mean,
we only accept onions.
You look at that Highlander that stands behind Nabdeen, Rollo, and you tell me that he's beautiful.
He's beautiful in spirit.
He looks like Badron.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about the role quest like in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
there is another Highlander that is exactly the same.
Don't be mean to him.
And I was like, oh, he's ugly, and then he turns into a terminus creature. I was like, oh.
All right, much better.
All right,
yeah. An improvement.
We need to move on. We are way behind. So, he is. So that's the end of the story. Actually, that's where the story basically ends.
Oh.
So the stage is set.
It basically wraps up as saying, "All right, we'll get this sorted." But unfortunately, although we'd love you to set up headquarters in Megadoodoo, it's full of money right now.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Yeah.
They were too rich.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "When we've finished that, we'll send." Yeah. And then there's a bunch of these voice scenes that happen throughout the storyline, but we've grouped them up.
Okay.
Now what happened?
We have to talk about the cut in the meanwhile scene. So this happened. We have avoided this now because we've stuck to the general story here. But throughout this, there's been a couple of shots of something happening elsewhere. The hand coming out of this void thing, and a man walking up through some shit. It turns out to be. At first I thought, oh no, it's chaos. Is this just going to be because of Strange from Paradise? Or Zonde was a good one. I also thought about Zonde. But it's Golbez. It's Golbez from 4. Final Fantasy 4. It has to be.
He talks to the 4 thrones of elementals.
The 4 fiends.
He has the eye.
Yeah.
So they'll be on each of the thrones, I guess, or whatever.
So Golbez and the 4 fiends, which are not the 4
fiends?
Not the fiends that you probably think about if you haven't
default to think about.
Yeah, which is Lich.
And not the fiends from 14 either.
Not the fiends from 14.
Nope.
So look those up if you haven't, because they have some interesting designs.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I don't know how
they have some lovely Italian names. We've got Scamaglione, Caganazzo, Barbariccia, and Rubicon.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go. Yeah. So hey, that's possibly the trials that we're gonna get.
Probably
in the future.
going to be the trial series. It makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that the trial series will be the MSQ? Because I feel as if it will be.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, it's already been introduced.
Content to relegate incredibly important things to side story though, like Mists of a Realm.
That is true, but I hope not.
No.
We'll see. It'll probably be one of those things where you get to that point, and then either they sidetrack you off to do it.
But it's weird to do such a big tease in the MSQ and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, branch off here.
No, that is we'll
because Myths of a Realm, which is we're about to talk about, is just sort of mentioned like it's at a weird point in the story where they're like, okay, you've unlocked Myths of a Realm now, go do that or continue the MSQ, which felt a little weird when it happened. But yeah,
and lastly, there's also Xenos in the Void.
Oh yeah, shit.
No, shut up. It's not Xenos. It's just
Xenos is
familiar.
Xenos is back, everyone.
Xenos is like Avatar.
He's got someone's hands over his eyes, but it's Xenos.
I know what you're thinking, Mela, because I think the same thing. Because I'm like, okay,
deeply Xenos.
The Avatar is still alive. It's still like it's in the 13th, I think, in the Void.
What do you mean, Nikhil? The Avatar never featured in the story at like any point.
But Mela, this means that he wasn't lying. This is
true.
Yeah. Go on, Gary.
You get a specific Reaper-based line.
You do earlier in the story,
and it's such a throwaway line, though. Like when they're talking about Void Scent, like usually Void Scent only can be summoned by making a pact, and that's usually bad, so you don't want to do that. And then you can be like, well, "What about me?" And then she's like, "Well, you're different. Shut up," and then move on.
She's. I think she very specifically says, "You're the exception that proves the rule." And like, now.
I see.
She's like, don't mention an Avatar ever again to me. How dare you?
Yeah. I see an interesting mention in chat. Golbus and Avatar might be the corrupted heroes of the 13th. They do mention
it's most likely.
Yeah, that does make sense to me. But we'll see. Very interesting. We're gonna do Void stuff in the future. So cool. All right, now we need to talk about Myths of a Realm.
Wow.
Sorry. Oh god, I put A in there. It's the, isn't it? It's the realm. I can never remember if it's Myths of
the Realm. I think
it's a speakers show, so it's Myths of a Realm here. In our house, it's Myths of a Realm. So
oh yes, that's right. We should quickly mention the MSQ does mention Silver and Unocal High as well.
That's true. Yes.
If you've done those things.
Yeah, lots of callbacks to other quests, lots of rewards for doing side content in this MSQ. All right, Myths of the Realm. So you start with Kryl, obviously. She did the tease. So they've received a request for assistance from Rambros.
Who?
Rambros.
Thank God he didn't speak that much in the quest line. Yeah, the Rambros. I don't even remember exactly what he said because I had to voice him, and then it blanks my brain. So he's like, I don't even remember what he said. Something about the Phantom Realm? Did he even mention that?
Well, he says, like, some guy has come up to us and like, hey, I found the Phantom Realm.
Yeah, right. That's what he said. Yeah.
It's like, which was a thing apparently. I don't know if I missed that one.
Yeah. I know it's never mentioned before.
Oh, no. This is the Phantom Realm.
Yeah.
Everyone just knew except me.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
This
I
dude.
really like chucking things in like that.
This dude found it, and you meet him. His name's Derek, and he's got a baby Opo. Actually, you find the Opo first, and then Derek appears.
Yeah, you think.
Oh, yeah, you find the baby Opo. Yeah,
and then
this is the Explorer.
Yeah, because again, the Warrior of Light is an idiot.
Is it monkey?
He monkey. So yeah, he's like, yeah, found the Phantom Realm. Kind of cool, I guess. Walks on water, and we're like, oh, okay. And he's like, well,
again, it's all happening so quickly.
Yeah. It's like, for a walk.
You just have to accept it. Like, oh, by the way, there's that Phantom Realm that literally never's been mentioned before. I can walk on. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Well, let me show
We're
you
here.
the fucking
name of this place
seventh
is-
heaven.
Or whatever it's called, Omphalos.
Omphalos. We
Okay.
we are
You've named it
trans.
I named it after the belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means it just means navel. The navel.
Yeah.
Navel.
Yes, it means the navel.
Or why?
I know, that's what I was like, why did you call it this?
Is this your fetish? What's happening?
It's really cool though. Once you get there, it's in the slide. It's just this. I mean, it's heaven. One of them, the seventh, presumably.
Love that show.
You can see Mordona from there. You can see the Crystal Tower.
See the Bahamut
Yeah.
blob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the North Shroud as well, actually, with
Oh.
the Bahamut.
Yeah.
With the shard of Bahamut.
Yeah.
On the other, I went around the whole arena and I was like, oh, it's only these two bits on one side. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was a bit
Yeah.
disappointed by that as well.
Yeah.
Where's his shield or something?
So we explored a little. Oh, also, there's like little minions going around there, like a little bunny.
Yeah.
There's lots of minions about.
A bit, but they're important.
Then we are interrupted by some voices coming from seemingly nowhere, and then 4 entities, 4 beings appear.
Thick-eyed.
Oh my god, the pan up.
Yeah.
They're
The zooms on Biogot in particular are very interesting.
It's getting kind of hot in here.
Yeah.
inappropriate if it was for Azema, but my lord.
Ooh, Byragot.
First thing they say is,
Skirts on him.
we're definitely evil and we're definitely going to take over the world.
Yeah, because they do
Yeah.
this feel at first.
Yeah,
and when that first happened, I'm like, oh no. Like, oh no, it's just gonna be that, isn't it? And then it's kind of weird as well because they're oddly hostile. Yeah.
Oh, you fucking mortal in our realm!
Yeah. Now that Heidland's gone, we're gonna take over this place.
You're a threat now.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't.
Turned me off a little bit immediately.
Yeah, same. Because I thought, okay, wow, they're going this route. So we have Byragot, Ralger, Azema, and Naldthal.
Well, we don't actually say that.
Well, they
refer to
claim
the
to
other.
be.
Only Biogot's the only one that announces who he is. The other ones all get like spirited woman or like.
Well, we know who they are because of
Yes.
But yeah, so this unlocks. They say that they will challenge you for dominion over Aetheris now that Heidland is gone, and this unlocks Aglaya, which is the battle.
Absolute banger.
Yeah, how do you even? This dungeon is wild. This
So
raid,
good. Every single boss fight, very good.
almost perfectly designed with like. There's no trash, like in
The
like
trash-
no
the
traditional trash.
Is mini bosses.
They're
which
mini
is
bosses.
perfect.
Yeah.
The whole dungeon.
And the
is
dungeon
brilliant.
opens with no mini. Like you go straight into Byragot.
Straight to Byragot.
Yeah.
Really good mechanics, cleverly designed, a shifting arena, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
rare enough.
I will say the thing that throws me off a little bit about the Biogot fight is when the arena is shifted, you don't move with it.
No.
Oh,
You have to figure that out ahead of time. Once you've learnt that,
Yeah.
Yes.
the whole
I
fight's
would
like
say surprisingly easier than I thought.
I mean, he's the first boss.
Well,
No, I
Byragot.
mean, like,
you
in
mean the
general.
overall? Okay.
In general.
Oh,
I
the
would
yeah.
rage
say-
overall.
Yeah.
well, not easy necessarily, but forgiving. Very
Yeah, it's
forgiving.
forgiving.
If like a
I
whole
will say-
alliance dies, you can still pretty much win anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Granted, I did it the
Like-
day after it came out, but we didn't wipe on my first run. So.
No,
No.
I haven't wiped on this at all yet.
I'm not white.
Yeah,
we had like
like-
really tough boss fights where almost everyone was dead, but we still won in the first pull.
Like, this is nothing like Ravenaster. Like, first day Ravenaster, or first
Oh.
week even. Like,
Rabbit
that was
tough.
the first boss with all the water sprites. You can still fuck that up real bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weeping City, it was nothing like that.
And I think they've learned from that. They probably shouldn't have that for the Alliance raids, and I agree.
Maybe not.
Because this dungeon, although it wasn't like the hardest one we've ever, or raid, this isn't the hardest one we've ever had. It was definitely fun. Like,
Very fun.
It was a very fun. The
So
mechanics
well
are very
designed.
fun. So yeah, that's Beauregard, and then we go to Ralgar.
You have a
there's a mini
which
boss,
is
which
Ralgar's Hawk.
Ralgar's Hawk.
Like
It has mechanics. So
It has some reasonably, fine mechanics. They're not ultra challenging, but they're good.
Yeah.
And then
Ralgar, and we have to talk about
arena.
The arena is actually not just flat. Because when we looked at the trailer initially, we were all like, "Oh yeah, that's a flat hand. That's the flattest hand I've ever seen." Wrong.
No, you can walk on the fingies.
Yeah, you can walk on the fingers. It's shaped like a hand.
And it's shaped.
The palm is like bumped, like it's perfect. And
We'll say it's some of those knockback mechanics. If you're not angled just right, you can just slide right off that finger.
Yeah,
you will just slide right off.
Yeah,
you can see why they don't like doing this that often, but it's very cool when they do.
Yes, and he has some really wild mechanics.
Quite good mechanic, like very visual. You have to be paying attention to the boss rather than just looking at what he's.
The one where where there's like a meteor, and you have to like
really clever.
Realize that he's about to punch through the blue one, so he will punch That's so cool when he punches the meteor. That's cool.
Yeah, because everyone runs to the fingers.
Yeah,
and then blows up because they weren't expecting this.
Yeah. Moving on.
You teleport into the Heaven of Fire.
Yes, and we fight two lions.
Heaven of Fire. I'd rather be in the Heaven of Fire than the Heaven of Lightning. Heaven of Lightning, bit boring.
It's a little boring, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much there.
Because the main part of it, Beauregard Spire, you don't really do anything with.
Yeah, we didn't get to go inside Beauregard Spire. Maybe it's amazing in there. But from what we saw, I wasn't... It's second of the two heavens we've seen.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, the Spire's cool, and then it's just a narcissist making a statue of himself.
Yeah.
I'm so cool and epic, yeah.
All right, Azema.
The two lion trash.
Oh yeah, there's two. Yeah.
Is good. I thought they were quite clever. I wish if you killed one too fast, the other one would not enrage but get a damage up or something just to make you fight them both at the same time. But
yeah.
I think they share HP or can siphon HP.
They don't.
No, they don't.
They
Do they not?
We killed
you can kill one. You can focus entirely on one and then kill the other one.
All right, Azema. Fan mechanics.
As well.
Some football, tossing that fan around with her feet. I don't know what's going on.
Fire and fans is her.
I like the one where the flames go up and she fans them into a whole corner.
That's cool.
Because people were like, "Oh, I'm safe."
The fire looks really good in this fight as well. I don't know if that's another update they've done, but yeah.
I would say I think Azema is probably the weakest of the four, but that's not to suggest that it's bad, because I think all of the fights are really good. I just think it's the least complex, maybe.
I guess, yeah.
Probably would agree.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up between her and Beauregard, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then between Azema and Altal, what is the mini boss there?
There's nothing.
There's nothing. We just go straight to Altal.
It's super fast. And Altal, although mechanically very cool, my favorite thing is that they gave him almost no HP because they knew how often you would mess up the balance mechanic.
Because the big gimmick in this fight is when you have to do weigh the scales correctly.
I was disappointed that when you did it, it succeeded first time, Lucio.
Why?
I just thought it'd be more funny for you if you had to suffer through what I suffered through. Idiots.
I've never failed this.
Did your character get selected for the mini boss?
No.
Or the ad?
Once.
When I did it, I think else was.
The first time I did it was, and I was like, it's probably just making it so that you see yourself. And then I was like, oh no, it actually is selecting me. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I didn't realize until they were already dead. And I was like, as they were dying, I was like, wait, is that me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why?
Yeah.
Good.
It's a good fight.
His fight's good because it's kind of like Kefka, but
more advanced than Kefka.
A little bit harder to think of which one's correct because it's just based on his head and he switches them secretly.
It's also based on the arena. The arena around it turns either red or blue depending on which one.
And his lamps.
Yeah.
And his lamps.
Yeah.
Don't forget lamps.
That song too.
The song,
Oh, it's a
has
Disney song,
lyrics
yeah,
like
it's
a
nice.
Disney song. Yeah,
It's got some really
weird.
cool lyrics.
You guys have said this. It doesn't sound like a Disney
it
song
sounds
to me.
like something of like
It's Aladdin.
Aladdin. Yeah, that's the name I was looking for.
But I don't think it sounds like Aladdin to me. It just sounds
Well, it's
like...
not from Aladdin.
It
No,
isn't.
I know that, but it doesn't sound like a Disney song to me.
Okay.
Personally.
Such
Well,
a Disney Puritan over here.
Yeah.
I also don't. When
It's more like-
people talk about how the dungeon sounds like a Crash song, I agree, but it specifically sounds like a song from Crash 4.
Oh, it doesn't need to. Oh.
What are you? What is wrong with you? A Crash song just means from anywhere, Georgi. Why do you have to
No.
specify? Actually, it's more like 4.
Because when people
quite
say
have the
Crash
drum sound
song,
that we
they're
hear in the song.
normally talking about the original trilogy, and I don't think it sounds like a song from that.
It's kind of sound like do. It's kind of a doots. That's
I'm sure the 3 people that care about this are very happy that you brought that up, Georgi, and got that on the record. It sounds like Crash 4, not just
Thank you.
Crash in general. Yeah. All right, moving on. Graha after this.
Oh yeah,
we're-
the follow-up.
Yeah, the follow up to this, they're like, this is actually quite a long quest, but after that, you've just fought the gods. You never see them die, though. You see them just sort of
it
tap
disappears.
out. They're like, bye, and then they
wow,
come back.
Epic, you're so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they come back and they're like, well, we're gods. We wanted.
We're not primals.
We're not primals. We're not summoned.
Summoned. We're real.
And
We're not
Don't know
evil.
whether I
and they're like,
believe them or
you
not.
are our children. They're like, we felt really bad, and it was,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Good acting.
yeah,
Beauregard, you're such a good villain.
yeah.
What was
Oh,
all
to
that
use
about?
my building powers for evil. I felt so bad.
So that
I like
made
that
me
they're
more
not evil,
interested
though.
again. I'm like, okay, so they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna be their primals. There's gonna be something else.
Mhm.
So we decide to go to certain spots in Eorzea where people worship these gods to figure out more about them.
After the gods tell you, it's like, all right, well, you beat us. Figure out what's going on
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
We're not allowed to tell you. We
Right.
can tell you we're not primals, but we can't tell you why we're doing this.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah. So we go to Ralger's Reach with Graha and Derek.
Essa.
Yeah. When we're there, we split up and you visit
You
3
look
different
at
locations essentially.
Bloodstorm.
Yes. You
And
look.
some
Blood.
other things.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, you look at the statue, read the inscription. While you're reading that inscription, is that when the next? No, it happens after, right? You meet the scholar at the
Yeah,
Temple
the
of the
mad
Fist
woman.
Lady.
Temple of the
The
Fist
mad
Lady
woman who
appears.
took you to the worst dungeon ever conceived.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then you get a book, right? They give you a book
Her
eventually.
thesis,
Her
essentially.
thesis, yeah. And you give it to Graha, and he's like, well, he reads some lore about Ralger and how they claim to have seen him during the 6th Umbral Calamity.
Yeah.
And that
And
that's
maybe when the ether was funny, people caught glimpses into this thing
Well,
we've just made up
well,
for this quest line.
well that comes after when the gods actually come
Oh,
down.
yeah,
Ralger and
true.
Beauregard just comes down and they appear as a Spriggan and a hawk.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because
in
that's
World of Speech, this confirms what they are.
yeah,
That makes sense for them, I think.
yeah.
Partially.
well-
Ralger sent his hawk at us in the fight, and Spriggans are builders.
Yeah, they are.
Is this where they talk about the Louis Swat thing with when they summoned the 12 the first time?
I think
That
that was earlier, I think, but
Yeah.
that's
he
when they
basically
said
says that was rubbish.
that was shit,
Yeah.
and that was not us you were calling.
They don't say
Those
that
were
actually.
primals.
Yeah,
you're
They actually praise us for that. They say your hopes and dreams are what prevented the realm from suffering too much significant damage.
yes,
Yeah,
but it wasn't them.
We didn't do anything.
But it wasn't
Yeah,
them.
it wasn't us though.
No. So yeah, thank God they didn't shit on Louis Soir. They did say that it was good that they did it, but
Yeah.
yes, it did.
What he did was fake and dumb,
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah. So
Fake news.
they also mention Ramu when talking about Ralger.
Yeah,
So
which makes sense. I mean, they bring that up like literally during the Ramu questline in the Ramu. So it's
Yeah.
good they
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. And they say this is how we can't show ourselves. That's the rules that they've set for themselves, is that they cannot show themselves to people. But sometimes
we don't know if they're their rules.
No, that's true.
Someone's rules.
But sometimes, like during calamities, the veil sort of breaks a little, so you can see through, and that's when they become visible. The phantom realm becomes visible.
Who's that giant, naked, big-thighed man that I see over there?
Oh, I gotta make a statue of that thigh.
All right. So we move on to. Then they leave. They're like, okay, we've told. Oh, actually, they come down because they're so pissed because Graha won't leave this like theory that they're primals alone, and they're like, we've told you we're not summoned, you idiot.
Stupid cat boy.
So yeah,
Tia, learn to be a nun.
What a burn, dude. All right, they leave. We go to Ul'dah to learn. Oh, we actually split off with Graha now, and Derek is like all weird about it. And then we
doesn't want to be alone with us.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah.
Then we go to Ul'dah to learn about Nalthal. They also mention that the oh god, what is the other one called? The Sacrarium? Is that the one that's broken, or is it the
Milvanet's Sacrarium
or
someone's ossuary? Which one is the one that we visit?
I think the ossuary is the one that's
the ossuary is
open.
the one that's
or closed.
I can't remember.
One of them is broken.
The Thaumaturge's Guild is open.
The Thaumaturge's Guild is the Sacrarium. Because that's where they worship Thal, because that's where they do like funerary rites. The ossuary is the one that's behind the Black Mage teacher that you can never enter because for whatever fucking reason, it's been 5 years since the calamity and they still haven't repaired it inside.
Why?
There's a lot of damage going.
I know!
I don't get it.
I've been thinking this for so long. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I can understand the amphitheater in Gordania. They moved it.
Yes.
You don't need to go to the old one.
Yeah.
But this is your temple to Nald.
Yeah.
This is pretty important.
Yeah.
It's an ossuary. Why would you want to go in there?
Because it's a holy
pray
site.
To Nald.
Yeah.
It's one half of our nation's religion.
A hall of bones is like most churches, Mela, is like essentially a hall of bones.
No, but like an ossuary is it's just for interring human remains.
It's also a literal, like, a holy site. It's essentially Ul'dah's version of a church. They have two churches for their two gods. In 1.0, they were treated as both. They were both churches.
Yeah, in 14, but it's a weird name to call it. So
I know,
it's just for bodies.
Yeah. Sounds cool, I guess.
It does sound cool.
It's very
Love an
epic.
ossuary.
All right, so we learn.
Oh, but that was the funny bit where he's talking out loud about we've just seen the gods, and they're like, "Did he just say he's seen Nalthal?"
Yeah, they're like, "What the fuck?" Okay, so
I just saw Jesus walk down the street the other day. I say this in like a Catholic church.
Yeah, did I mention I fought them?
Doesn't that happen a lot?
Okay, so we go to Karn after this, because
loves Karn.
Yeah, because Graha is going to do some research down there. I don't actually remember exactly where we're going there.
Prial said that she's hired a mythologist who is doing research at Karn right now.
Yeah.
So Graha should go collect her.
That's what it was.
But she's dead.
She's just collapsed between the ruins, and she's like, "I need water, need food." And you give her what little water is left in her bag, but no food. And he's like, "I need more food." No. And that's
water would be nice.
Yeah. Then Graha arrives and is like, "Oh shit! Well,
this Archon bread. Shut up, Graha.
Yeah.
Why were you carrying Archon?
He's got Archon bread and coffee, right?
No, he specifically says, before we split part ways at Ralga's Reach, he says he needs to go somewhere else before he collects this woman. So that's where I think he was going to go get that loaf and that coffee for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would have just died otherwise.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So we sort of let her in. She's been studying the 12. She's a 12, a bit of a 12 nerd, you could say.
Say her name.
Snogheim.
I think her name is very unfortunate.
Snogheim.
Snog.
Yeah.
Fucking snog you.
And we let her in on it. She
Thanks.
gets really like,
Ooh.
she's like, what the hell? And she really wants to learn more. So
Well, she's also a little bit like, oh, it's a bit disappointing that you're just telling me this. This was my entire life's research.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
I guess I know.
And I love that we just dump this on her, and then we go, so want to go to heaven?
This whole patch. It's literally we've just discovered heaven. Do you want to come? Okay, we're here.
Well, I think I don't know if would I like them just dragging it out and be like, I don't need them being like explain. She'd be like,
really at pace.
Now tell me again, the heaven, and then we'll have like
I
two
just
more
maybe
quests.
have wanted a bit more disbelief, maybe.
I mean, everyone knows we went to the end of the universe to fight
I
despair.
guess,
itself.
maybe that's the trouble. Like
what?
Nothing is a surprise anymore.
No.
What are we gonna lie about now?
No.
I mean, who do you want to disbelieve? I mean, we actually see the gods.
Mogheim.
I mean, she's kind of a crazy person, so
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we go to the god's place, which was called Omphalos. And that's when she's like, this looks like the seventh heaven. Like, this must be. She looks around. She's like, what are all these temples? She asks essentially the questions that you probably asked yourself already. And then we're like, oh, further research is required. Let's pop back down.
Let's go and have a drink
Mordona.
of coffee. Yeah. And snack.
And I have to say, sometimes they try to flex in the weirdest ways in this game. But when the sugar cubes.
Oh, did you like when she pushed them out the way a little bit?
Yeah,
and stuff?
just
that was weird.
Briefly touched the sugar cubes and they moved, and I'm like, oh, get off it.
Whoa, that's so amazing.
You realize that scene alone pushed development back by like a month and cost $100,000.
Well, also when she like banged the table, there was like a sugar cube fell off as well.
It dropped off.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so realistic.
I will say that fried chicken on the table made me hungry.
That's true. The food looked good.
Did look good.
I liked how everyone. One of the weird details that I like about scenes like this is that everyone has a different like vessel for drinking whatever they're drinking. Graha, Kryl, and us, and the Warrior of Light all have a wine glass. She has her fucking coffee with 50 sugar cubes.
Yeah,
and then Derek has the like mug similar to what Urianger and Thancred had at our final dinner before traveling into space.
I like it. It looks good. It's more realistic.
Yeah, and there's like a moment with Derek where he's kind of like,
I've got no friends. I am a loser.
I'm probably Ashan or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something that happens earlier is that Derek talks about when you're in Ralga's Reach. Derek talks about how like he doesn't. He's not normally one for spending time with other people, and then you get the option to say, "Oh, but other people are cool," or if you say, "Yeah, but sometimes I like being by myself." Graha, it switches to a scene of Graha, and he looks kind of sad, but he doesn't say anything, and then the conversation continues as normal.
I didn't say that. But
I didn't say that.
Cool.
Oh wow.
Oh, I can't do that to you.
Yeah. So that's essentially it. And then they also say, like, imagine, like, this is kind of crazy that we're sitting here at the seventh heaven after having been in the seventh heaven, and that's when she has the revelations like, oh my god, that's right, we're at the seventh heaven. Seventh heaven was in Mordona, like and that's true.
It is true, but it's not something they've planned, Akil.
I know.
Just put two and two together. Oh, this is good. This will be a fun little quirk.
If it wasn't, I mean, if in the real world, in their world, that would be crazy. I understand, Mela, that this obviously wasn't
that'd be
planned.
like, wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're in a bar called the Garden of Eden, and we're drinking in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Go on.
No, you go first. Sorry.
I was just going to ask, what do you think about Derek now? Like, are there
That's
any?
exactly what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Do you think?
I'm not.
Do you think Derek is Ashan?
No, I think Derek being Ashan is the red herring. I think his Opo is Ashan.
So here's the thing:
of all the other gods having one.
I think Derek is Oshon because he never shows any surprise at any of the weird things that happen during this whole patch.
He's just like, yeah, I've been walking around here sometimes for fun.
And when the gods appear, we all look shocked, and he just sort of looks like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I think my feeling is the Oppo Oppo is just an Oppo Oppo, and we're like, he's going to be like, we're going to be like, wait, what? Isn't the Oppo Oppo special? And it's like, no, it's just an Oppo Oppo.
Both of them could be red herrings, but when they go there first, they're like, oh, the Oppo Oppo has made itself a home here. I wonder how many times Derek's been here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think either Derek or the Oppo Oppo is Oshon, and I don't think it's a possibility that neither of them is.
Because you have to remember, this was all like a trap. They lured us in here, and he was the guy who brought us in.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I think he is involved with the gods. If he is Oshon,
go
on.
Maybe Derek's minion form is an Oppo Oppo, and that's how he befriended the Oppo Oppo.
Oh, but then this is just a second Oppo Oppo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether that's true or not, my additional theory is that the seventh heaven is or was ruled by a leader of gods, much like the Greek Olympus.
There's a 13th one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because there's like that big portal where they talk about what goes there.
Mm-hmm.
They have a set of rules. All of them are like multiple aspects, but this last one's just on its own. I think this is like where the Vanar figure would be, the whoever it is.
Yeah.
But I've literally got no clue.
Yeah.
Another reason I think Derek is Oshon is because he always talks about how he prefers to be alone, and in the creation myth, Oshon is the only one that's not accounted for at the end.
That's true. Yep. He does talk about like through my wanderings. It's very good credence for one or the other being the red herring, but I agree probably one of them is.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if neither of them are.
Same.
Yeah.
What I will say is, has anyone, I was going to try this, but I couldn't be bothered in the end, gone through and found all the minions and thought who they could be tied to?
I was wondering that as well. I haven't looked through all of them. There's a dwarf rabbit. There's
a fish.
There's a fish.
There's the Alamegan fighting fish.
There's a bird. There's a
bird.
There's the hawk one is Rolga, we know that, but there's another bird. There's like an owl.
Yeah, but there's another bird as well.
Yeah.
And there's a golem.
There's a golem. Yeah. I tried finding.
I think those. Yeah. The bird is an owl.
Yeah, the owl. Yeah, like I said, yeah.
I think it would be fun to go through, find a picture of all of them, and see who you want to match them to.
Yeah.
We've got like 6 months to decide on who we want them to be.
Yeah.
Everyone come up with one, and we see who gets most right.
Okay, well, we need to move on from this, but very exciting stuff, and huge lore implications for the game, of course. So
mega big.
Yeah.
And they love saying, we're not primals. You can keep asking, it's like, are you guys primals?
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, go on, Georgi.
They say they're not primals. That doesn't stop them from being created by the ancients.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. I kind of, a part of me just I want them to not be that either, but I don't know how that would even function.
I kind of agree, but yeah, I don't know where they would have come from then.
No.
I really just think
they're actual gods.
Because
I think they're just unsundered.
Because the ancients, even the ancients had things that they couldn't fully explain. So maybe, I mean, you could maybe hook onto that a little and be like, we were here like before Aetheris. But yeah,
they got a lot of explaining for all the bad shit that happened then, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. They've not really offered any protection for the planet compared to
Well, they did a little, but it seems like they're very limited in what they can actually do. Like
see, that's why I think they are creations in the same way that Loporrits are creations, because Vanar put limitations on them. So I think the people that made the 12 put limitations on the 12 as well.
Yeah, but what?
So they have rules.
Were they made just to protect, I guess? But I thought Hydaelyn did that. Like
Hydaelyn protect.
Is it possible that the 12 would? You go for?
What did you say?
Well, I mean, I really think it's ancients, because it even cuts back to the them itself thing. Like, we don't even know the true identities of the 12.
That's true.
It's like, it makes me think that they were people, you know.
Or maybe he already knew about the 12.
Yeah,
because
he already has that knowledge. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. Either way, I'm very intrigued. Do you have anything to add to that, Georgi, before we move on?
I was just going to say, I think the Zem has assembled. This was a Zem's second plan.
Yeah,
the one that we don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. Yeah. Okay, we need to quickly go through some miscellaneous stuff. We need to talk about PvP because PvP has changed.
Bronze 3 forever, baby. Never getting out of Bronze 3. I love it.
We'll get to that. But first, just overview of like the changes to PvP itself, like in terms of skills and abilities. Completely renewed. When you go into the Wolves Den, all of your skills are grayed out. You need to build that hotbar up again, baby.
Anyone go into Crystalline Conflict from just a random place without changing their bar?
No, because I realized this would happen.
Yeah,
you can't.
Someone
do that.
must have though.
Oh, someone must have.
Because you have to go into the Wolves Den.
You have to unlock it, don't you?
Do you?
No, you don't.
It was there.
That
quest is so funny because you don't actually have to do it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's fucked up.
On my Ragnarok character, when we did the custom match for as part of the Friday stream, I had not done that yet. No. So you can go in there even if you haven't.
I didn't do that quest until like
what's happening.
I was like had reached
it's
bronze.
It's not really
tier,
a quest. You don't even get a reward. It's just they show you.
Yeah. It's for new people.
It doesn't even explain the rules really.
No,
unless you ask him afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. So the new skills and abilities they've sort of changed how you play the game. Right. Healers are no longer healers. They're support jobs essentially.
That's good.
About like 6 to 8, like 6 to 9 abilities, and then like a standard 4. There's guard, which is your defense one. There's one to break out of any CCs.
Yes.
And then there's an instant heal, and then there's a long cast heal.
Yes.
Which also replenishes MP. It's really I love this change.
It has and one of the things that have completely changed without touching Crystalline Conflict, Frontline.
Frontline feels much more fun.
Yeah.
I still think it's pretty bad, but it's
really.
I know that Crystalline Conflict feels unbalanced, but I think Frontline really shows how unbalanced some of these new.
Frontline was never made for this, obviously.
Because like everyone, their individual limit breaks are so fucking wild with that many players.
I still think the biggest mistake they made was making it like the maximum number rather than 8v8v8.
It's
I think
it was so much better.
Yeah, it was so fun, wasn't it? It felt like you actually made a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, because like in Frontline, you can essentially just end up just dying instantly as you enter like the fray. Like there's just a group there. Suddenly there's like a limit break going off and everyone's dead. You just kill the whole party.
It's a little bit crazy.
That's sort of one of the better things because I mean we've known for a long time the time to kill in PvP in general for 14. So long, unnecessarily long.
Yes,
especially if it's a healer.
Formally,
that's over now.
Yes, like a healer cannot just heal through an entire party trying to kill them.
No,
thank God.
No. You can 1v1 them. A healer.
So what exactly is it that has ruined? What makes Frontline worse then? To explain it to me, because I thought that was like one of the reasons it wasn't good.
I still think there's just too many players, and
it's just the amount of players. Oh, okay.
Yeah, with how stronger the skills are, like it just
feels even more chaotic because there's less of a chance. Because there's no healers, it feels like if you are selected as the target, you are dead.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you are a healer, you are extra dead because people just still love to focus.
Yeah. That old habit is still there. Yeah, I noticed that.
It's like, I only have 2 charges of a heal, please. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And some of the abilities are just kind of broken too. Like in Steel Rock, for example, the Sage ability, which makes you take no damage unless someone's inside the field with you. It's like you just put it on the point, or you have 2 other people put it on the point, and then anyone who's in it takes a ton of fucking damage, and no one's taking.
No one can cap the point because there's a area around it that it kills you very quickly.
Like it's these skills are very cool. They're not made for this many players.
Can
No.
you stack the Sage thing for double the dot?
I think you can.
Could you just get like 8 Sages to just pop it on the point and no one can get it because they're taking like 32,000 damage a tick? That would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something I gotta say though too, and even Zayners in chat saying it. I wish some of these skills were in PvE. Because they're very, very cool and like very fun. I mean, a lot of them are. I mean, the jobs themselves are super simple. Like, they have 5-6 skills at most.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you immediately know what they're doing. But like the machinist limit break would just let you snipe something for like 30,000 damage from across the map.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know why we can't have that in PvE, but
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
And then they bring back caster and bard mini caster, bard, bow mage for both machinists.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel there's more identity in PvP than PvE now.
Yes, that's true. And yeah, I mean,
Especially
obviously
for tanks and healers because they're like homogenized in PvE.
Yeah,
they're all the same basically.
It's true. Okay, we're moving on to Crystalline Conflict then.
Okay.
Right.
Obviously, let's just start out by saying that Crystalline Conflict is super fun.
Yes.
And all the maps, I at least really like, and the fact that it's over within 5 minutes or so is brilliant.
Mm-hmm. It's quick and easy, and right now, at least, queue times are like instant.
Yeah, this is the best time to play PvP, and it's the best PvP has ever been. It's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to deal with 14's ridiculous global cooldown time.
Yes.
Which for PvE, fine, but for PvP, you want something more snappy. You want it more actiony.
God, I'm mashing recuperate. Please stop killing me.
You cannot drop the GCD for me. I could not play this mode if the GCD was significantly lower.
No.
It could do with it, but it's I mean, it feels good still. But
let's mention the fact that the one we're going to talk about. Okay, let's just mention that you can only queue solo. That's like the first like big
bad move.
Yeah.
Very poor move.
You can't play
I'll
this.
tell you the reason why that's a bad move. Because every time you queue into ranked, you have no choice in your teammates, and you can get, Balmung tier bad players versus like pros. So you can be going with any amazing players or rubbish players.
Mela, you just have to get out of bronze 3, and then you'll get matched with the players that you should be matched with.
Do you not think that this is something they have implemented, at least for now, to combat the possibility of win trading?
Probably.
I agree with that. That is the most probable. But the fact that there's so many people playing, it would be very difficult to win trade right now.
It's sort of
going in with a group will actually have a chance of victory, whereas going in right now, you will be going up and down those stars.
Yeah, oh God,
all day
tell
long
me about
because you have no idea. You can get to 3, and then you'll get 3 losses.
I always get to 3, and then we start losing, and I lose all of them. All of my stars, and then I'm like at the bottom, and I'm like, why do I even try? Why? What's the point?
I think it's fine that they don't have full team stacks, because if you've ever played any kind of these kind of games like MOBAs or hero shooters, it fucking sucks to go up a full stack against like randoms.
But it feels good to be on that full stack.
No, because it's a stomp, and it's a boring stomp. I don't like it. What I think they should do is they should at least let you queue in duos for like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
queue would be good.
Maybe trios, and then have full stacks its own thing entirely. Like you can have an entirely different rank for full stacks, which some other games do.
Yeah,
because that's because I
don't want to.
Trios
would be really good.
Yeah,
because you can tell, like you'd be able to tell if you were up against a full stack. You'd be like, all right. All the alts are off at the same time. Oh no, they've dragged me into the hell pit, and I'm dead within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They usually show on MOBAs like the groupings, like they stack 2 people together as they queued as 2, and then the other 3 queued as a 3, so you know what you're up against.
You know that's too advanced for 14, though.
Yeah.
14 will always just be randoms, and I guess now rankings is thrown into the mix. I feel like anything more than that is too much. Plus with duos, or maybe possibly trios, you can still coordinate enough with your teammate to make a pretty big difference, but not maybe win the entire match.
Yeah.
Yeah, with trios, it would be a majority group. The only difficulty then, I suppose, would be if everyone queues trios, it's going to get harder for the queue time to fill the last 2 slots.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe duos works better for
Well,
queues.
no, there's always going to be people that want to solo a queue.
See, that's the awkward thing about
likely, but-
that's the awkward thing about parties of 5
Mm-hmm.
is that you
Yeah,
can't
you've gotta-
queue people in groups necessarily with other even groups.
Right. Yeah.
There'd either have to be a separate queue or just let you 5 stack if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It could get nasty, but
Yeah.
great.
It's
Great
good.
game mode.
It's
Get
good.
on,
It's
get on the
about the
fucking
balance.
point. Get on the fucking point.
This is a please. This
Move the payload.
You need to
The
listen. You need
If
to
you
listen to
are
me.
a ranged
Listen.
class,
That crystal is the main objective. If I catch you standing off far, I look at you, Bard man, standing off in the distance while the enemy's pushing the crystal away, I will kill you. You will protect that crystal. You will stand in that crystal, and if you die, then that's good. You died at the crystal. You prevented it from moving.
Like, I get it. All right. Not everyone needs to be on the point because it takes one person to contest. And it takes one person to move at full speed. Right?
Yeah.
You can totally hang back. But, maybe the tanks died or whoever's in the mix and now they're pushing the crystal really, really fast. I'm not saying you got to throw yourself into the fucking meat grinder, but maybe you can contest.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do something.
Yeah.
You all have a guard skill.
Let me, that's important because I see people already going, the bards feel hurt. They're like, oh, it's based on damage, my skill. If you were the only one alive still, and the enemy is literally moving that crystal, you pop that guard and you hold it. You hold it in place.
Your damage is. You don't need to top the DPS meter.
No.
You need to win the objective.
Yeah, you wait for your other teammates to come to your rescue.
This is why Heroes of the Storm died. Because people just want kills.
Yeah.
It's not about kills. It's about playing as a team and doing the objective.
Right.
But ultimately, one of the great things about Crystalline Conflict is that it's over so quickly. The queues are fast, so you can jump right back in. If you lost, you can quickly get over that and I'll win. And if you lose repeatedly, well, okay. But
I'm gonna remain in bronze 3 forever.
Let's look at my streak right now. Actually, hold on. Let me whip it out. What lose streak am I on?
We really okay. Go on, Rollo.
I got a 5 lose streak. Fuck this game.
All right, there you go. Okay, we have to move on. We
Samurais.
are Nerf Samurai. Stay on the crystal. Good game. Good, promising game mode. All right. Let's talk about adventure plates because we haven't talked about adventure plates at all, and we know it's a good feature. Okay, we don't have time to talk about how much we love adventure plates. We need to talk about how people
hate adventure plates. Yeah.
How people are
You're ruining it.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Stop taking your adventure plate to be a zoomed-in, high-resolution photograph of your Makote's ass or your Highlander man's shalongo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And stop. Yeah, please stop. I don't like it.
I think it's funny though when you show a butt. Just the butt, that's funny. Anything more than that though, you are a fucking fiend.
I think the other ones are more funny. Like when people do there's been many creative ones that don't immediately jump to ass and haha pee pee.
I just think you need to zoom in on your face or make it a funny angle or whatever, but think about who's going to be playing the game and having that forced to pop up in their face.
Just stop being degenerates.
Yeah.
Children play this game.
Yeah.
And people are playing this, let's say, in an internet cafe, and you walking past, they've just got a Red Bull from the desk, and they walk past and see that pop up on your screen.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah.
Oh.
You got just being.
You're winning, son.
I'm in bronze 3.
All right. Okay. Well, there you go. Be nice in your adventure plates. That's it.
The no bitches one. That's funny.
Yeah. Also,
I hate
that meme.
Just be cool.
Just be nice. Okay, that's our review. We'll talk about job changes and stuff next week. We don't have time to cover it today.
Probably the role quests.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to do that next week.
I don't know if we'll talk about role quests in the next
we'll do
couple
Hatching
of weeks.
Tide.
We'll definitely talk about Hatching Tide. Yeah.
There's a few things coming in the pipeline.
Yes. All right. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Stay tuned if you're watching live. The post show is coming up. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeadland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, ! Discord and chat. If you want to join our Discord server, if you're watching on demand, links in the description. Remember to send us MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. And that's that. Let's wrap it up, as they say, and we'll see you in the post show. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but we're going to the post show now. Bye.
Wrap it up.
Love you.